thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Adventure Games podcast. This is Seoirse Dunbar, as always, and I am delighted to be joined by Micah Orsie from Crashable Studios, who is going to talk about his upcoming adventure game, Wildwood Down. Hello, Micah. How are you doing?
Hey, Short, what's going on, man?
Well, I'm doing well. Wow, you got the name pronunciation just right.
Yeah, I've been rehearsing it in my head.
It's a strange one.
Yeah.
Um, but no, thank you for joining me on the podcast because as I told you for recording, I've been following development of this game a little bit. Your game looks amazing, and I know that there are a number of people who are looking forward to it and who are looking forward to finding out more, as I am. So I can't wait to find out more about the game. It's certainly very unique and looks very different to a lot of other games. And we'll be talking about the main character, the main star of the game, Daniel,
Yep.
who is a real person,
Yeah.
and it seems to be a special part of your lives. So we'll be talking about him, I'm sure. But before we talk all about that, I want to ask if what are some of your favorite adventure games? Do you have any that adventure games? Do you have any that you like?
I think like it is up there. It's sometimes some days it's my top, some days it's like my least favorite. Like I'm gonna
Wow.
say Full Throttle is like I love it and I love the like story, the art, the characters. I don't know. That one just holds a special place in my heart. The generation that it came out between like the pixel art and not 3D yet. It's just everything in it. It's like it's just a great game for me.
And
And
did
then
you
other
say it
days I'm
was your
like, that's
least
the worst
favorite?
point and click. The puzzles suck. But yeah, that's that. I think that's my answer.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've never had anyone say it's both their favorite and least favorite at the
Yeah,
same time. But you said the puzzles, would suck because most people would say that that's very easy.
yeah. I mean, I think I like that they did like there's not tons of items. I think
Mm.
that's part of like you have like two or three items and you're still kind of like, wait, but what do I do though? I like that it has that aspect rather than just like give the player a lot and then like obviously it's a puzzle because you have a lot of items. I feel like there was a lot of creativity to make few items work well as a good
Yeah,
puzzle.
it's
Yeah.
well, I remember I'm not putting my lips on that. It's
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
yeah, I mean, I really like that game as well. The one thing I probably didn't like as much was the motorbike section, the arcade. I just
Yeah,
found that a bit
yeah,
frustrating. Not my least favorite thing in adventure games, but I kind of liked that the puzzles were logical. That you just kick a door down, and I just thought, yeah,
yeah.
that's what he would do.
Right. Yeah. Like it's kind of cool. Yeah. Like in that sense. That's,
Um,
I mean, even those, yeah, like those time based and the chainsaw, like you get the different items, the motorcycle scene, it's like clunky and weird. Even that, I think it's because I was like a kid playing it.
mm.
So it holds that special, like, I just remember doing it and thinking it was cool. Like, oh, you got that weapon and this thing. Like, even those dumb parts that are like weird and programmed awkward and it's like funny, it's still cool to me.
Yeah, I mean, even though I said it was my least favorite, I don't hate it, and there's a certain logic to it, and they are puzzles as well. You
Right.
keep
Yeah.
going.
Like it still has that aspect
It's
for sure.
yeah, so I can see the logic, and this part of it is fun, but I think I just wasn't very good at it.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
could be.
exactly. Just like what the hell?
But
Keep
no,
getting
I
dropped.
mean, Full Throttle. Like, not many people say it is their favorite game, but there are some scenes that I love. Like, the introduction is probably one of my favorite introductions of all time in any, certainly adventure game. I would
Yeah.
include that up there with Broken Sword and that. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
then the ending. Spoiler when they capture the villain when he has the slides and the pictures of himself murdering
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Seeing the
Yeah, no,
kill. It's cool.
yeah. No, great choice.
Yeah, thanks. And I like that it is like dark and humorous. Like the story is like kind of serious in that the
Mm,
bad guy like kills someone, but then it's like super funny too. And there's like the comedy layer, like where he's like, I'm gonna start selling minivans instead of motorcycles. Like it's like the silliest thing, but then also like a real murder. And like that blend is cool to me, the dark and like, it's funny and serious how they did
yes.
that that one is. I like how they that feels. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think they do have, and I think Tim Schafer does this very well. That he does
Hmm.
have a mix of humorous and serious. You know, Grim Fandango
Yeah.
as well was
Yeah.
similar. It was very humorous, but also a very serious story.
Right. Like there's that under gravity of it that's like something real going on, but
So yeah, no, great choice. But yes, but no, we're here to talk about your game, a Wildwood Down, which is coming out on August 7th,
yeah.
2025. So maybe when people are listening, it might have already be out, might about to be coming out.
Yeah.
I suppose, how did you get started making adventure games before we go on
Yeah.
to
I mean,
Wildwoods Down? And you've spoken how you played Full Throttle as a kid. So
yeah.
how did you
Yeah.
move then to just making adventure
So,
games?
so a layer of it all is okay. I have four brothers, so there's five of us. We all kind of played adventure games growing up. You can imagine like the oldest of us playing Monkey Island, and we're all watching the screen and like giving our ideas of what to do, what should happen, and like kind of trying to solve it all together. But from there, growing up, and it's like I kind of stumbled on AGS, Adventure Game Studio. I like got into that, was making something in that when I was like 17 or something. Just like I think I could make a cool game and I'm gonna try. I worked on this game for like a year, building it out, the graphics, figuring out the system, the stuff. And my oldest brother reformatted the computer and I lost it all.
Oh,
And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. I just laid down. It's like it's gone. There, I didn't use like backups or hard drives or nothing. It was just like
are you still
literally.
talking to your brother after
Yeah. Yeah, we're
that?
all super tight still, all five of
Oh,
us.
that's good.
Absolutely. And I love him. He's an idiot. Saya, if you're listening to this. uh yeah,
So that gave you kind of experience then, at least. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that gave a, undercurrent of like, okay, maybe that game would have sucked anyway, and I can make like a cooler one. But so years later, a couple of years later or something, that we did, me and a different brother ended up making our game Alum, which is out, and that's like a point and click adventure with AGS. And that was cool. We released that. I think that are a lot that we learned from that, and just the experience of making it, storytelling, puzzles, people's like uh, feedback has gone into making this new one now. And so we kind of have a couple of things under our belt like that I think this new one is like a really professional, like on a certain level that has this quality and experience that goes into it. So I think, yeah. What was your question?
yeah, that's it. How do you get started making games? So you just answered
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, that's kind of where we landed to now. Yeah. So me and
yeah,
my brother Luke are the two like making this game as well. He does all the assets, the 3D and 2D, and then I'm kind of like the mastermind gluing it all together. He like feeds me the parts and I make it all happen.
and are you writing the game
Yeah,
story
everything
then?
else. I'm writing the story, the ideas, the puzzles. Obviously, like we talk, I bounce everything off of him. It's kind of like the second mind to like, what do you think of this? Is this dumb? Is it fun? Is it, you have anything better? But yeah, yeah, like everything else, the story, the tech, dialogue, everything. I'm writing it all, working on it all. So yeah.
No, fantastic. And again, I love how, you started off with one game and then using feedback from that game to make this game.
Hmm.
And yeah, it does seem like, that, okay, taking what you learned from the first game. Are there anything that you did learn from the first game or any feedback that you
Uh,
remember I'm sure there's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of different things that people have told you, but is there any that stands out? And
yeah, I
hope I'm not
think
putting you on the spot.
no, I don't know if it's specific feedback, but maybe just in my own conclusions from things
Mm,
was like kind of like just to keep like the idea of like make puzzles that are fun and keep that a center focus and like keep the story moving. And so, because my mind, I always am running to different corners of things and like, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. And kind of just the process of cutting it down to just the meat to make it like a really well rounded like just the best, funniest, coolest, interestingest things end up in the game, right? Rather than like, this off puzzle here, this off puzzle here, and you're going from A to B to C to D to end up where you need to be. And kind of half of that is just like it could not be there and it's still the same experience.
Mm.
Where like, why have all this filler and noise? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard, to try and put puzzles and integrate them into the story and, make them part of the story. And then no matter what you do, there's got to be people who think that puzzles are too easy. Some people think that are too
Yeah,
hard. And
absolutely. Yeah.
it's happened many times for me where I thought, wow, these puzzles are quite difficult. I wish they're a bit easier. Then I go online and people say, oh, they're too easy. It's like a visual novel. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
You're like, what am I doing wrong? Yeah,
No,
exactly.
you're not going to please,
No,
everybody,
you can't.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
no, that's great to hear. Now, I think, before we really go to the story and the look of the game, I think we can't really talk about this game without talking about the star of the game, Daniel, because
Absolutely.
I'm guessing, is he the reason this game exists?
Yeah. I mean, pretty
But
much. You
so
could
tell
definitely
us
say
about
that.
Daniel, because I know you sent me a video as well, and he seems
Uh,
to play a huge part in your lives.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
what can you tell me about Daniel
So
and
yeah, so
why
to
he means so
start,
much to you guys?
so Daniel has been like our brother from another mother since we were little kids. He has Down syndrome, and my parents kind of made friends with his mom when we were kids. So his mom would kind of always come over our house and hang out. And so Daniel would just be there with her. And it was kind of like we just kind of took him in as like a sixth brother of us five. It's like now Dan's with us too. And just our whole lives, it's just funny. Like it just stayed like that. And it ended up that every summer he ended up like staying at our house actually. Eventually, that it was like for 2 or 3 months of the summer, he just lived with us. And so Daniel's like our brother, just like, oh, cool, it's summer, Dan's here, and we like whatever we do and vacations and things and stuff. And so, and now, even now, today, it's still the same that he comes and stays with me and my wife for the summer, and he lives at my house, and he'll just come in. And so yeah, we grew up with Dan, and he's just like an amazing, charismatic, funny dude. He just has an amazing sense of humor, and he loves video games and WWE, and yeah. But so he's just this awesome friend. Different times of life and different things we've gone through. Like I don't want to go into, but yeah, just hardships and hard things. Daniel's always there, like a friend to me. Where it's like
Mm,
you have like a someone there that's like with you when you're going through stuff, and it's like he has this special heart and simplicity to life, like with his Down syndrome and stuff. So it's kind of been like an amazing comfort at times actually in life to have Dan with us. Have you ever seen the movie Peanut Butter Falcon?
no, I haven't
It's like
actually.
Shia LaBeouf, and he ends up like with this guy that has Down syndrome, and like they're going to do this, like he wants to be in this wrestling thing, and they end up friends, and they're like he does. It's just this, like, it's a great movie.
I
uh
should check it out.
yes, watch that. And so I always tell people that's kind of like a documentary of my life. It's like the real thing. But yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, and so then we ended up one of these summers, I'll just go right into it, like Wildwood Down is Wildwood, New Jersey is there's a boardwalk there on the beach, and it's like a vacation spot. People go to Wildwood, New Jersey, and vacation. So the boardwalk is like an amusement park and just shops and rides and things. And it's like this fun summer boardwalk on the beach. And so we took Daniel one summer. He was staying here, me and my wife, and Luke, actually, the other guy working on the game, my other brother. We went there for vacation this weekend. Like, let's just go to Wildwood and like just kick it at the beach and hang out just to get out. And when we got there, it was like senior week. So that's like all the high schoolers just graduated. They all go for the week. And it's like senior week at Wildwood. So we got there, and it's kind of just like slammed with all these teens like running around and drama and fighting each other. And you just kind of could see all this. Like, it was fun. just watch it, like people watching. You just see them like hiding from the cops and like all it's just like little fights breaking out and like just the drama of it all. And they're like little high schoolers. Um, so my wife actually said to me when we were sitting on the beach there, she was like, I feel like we're in a real life point and click adventure game. So that spurred from just the interactions. Like we talked to this kid that was like hanging on the pipe at night, and we were like, "Hey, dude, what's going on?" He was like hanging off this pipe under the boardwalk, and he was like, "The beaches are closed. The cops said this and that. They took all our beer," and it felt like a like adventure game. Like he's just giving us all the information we need to like do the next thing. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like an NPC like interaction. So it was just this funny, like it felt like like that kid's just there for us to like solve a puzzle, like an adventure game or something. That kid ended up in the game now. He's like in
Oh,
Wildwood Down. He's called Pipe Kid, and he's hanging off a pipe, and that
and
was
so
a
you had
funny.
to try and get the cops off the beach, or I
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
know.
Yeah, you gotta sneak by them, and it's like a whole thing. But yeah, from that idea, we were just sitting there and kind of like, we should make this an adventure game, like Wildwood. It would be the location, and this could be a puzzle, and this could be a thing, and like Dan. And then it landed like Daniel could be the main character, and we're sitting there with Dan. We're like kind of like just talking to him, like what would happen if this happened, and it just the brainstorming just started happening, and it just all led to a one to another thing. And now we're like 2 or 3 years later from that, and our game's coming out in August. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And first of
Yeah.
all, I mean, it's great that it's just taken 2 or 3 years because in, well, AAA games, it can take 10 years now.
Yeah.
Or 15, 20
Yeah.
years. If the game comes out, you could be working 10 years and then your studio might not exist.
Right,
The
exactly.
state of the industry. But anyway, it's great that you guys had this idea, working on it, and now 2, 3 years later, you're
Yeah.
about to release the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fantastic because that you got, and it's, great. I'm sure your wife is a great person, and she got the idea. So
Yeah,
point and click
exactly.
adventure
That's what
game.
I got to give her credit. It's like that's the whole.
And I'm sure like Bell was ringing the light bulb. Oh
Yeah,
yes, it's
exactly.
so
I did.
she like, yeah, my work here is done. I'm like your
Yeah.
muse. Or
Right. It's like now I can just sit on the beach. You guys got to make a game for the next few years.
did she have any involvement? Did she give any other suggestions? Or?
Absolutely. Well, absolutely. I mean, and I know she's going to listen to this, so I got to say that. But I always talk to her about like all the puzzles and characters and things till she's like sick in the head. She's like, it's like I'm just talking and she's talking. Like, should the killer do this or come from that side and look like all this stuff. So I talk her ear off, but she's kind of like my sounding board with that.
Oh yeah, then I'm sure
And I
she can say,
appreciate,
yeah,
I
look,
think
this
it's
sounds
great.
good. We could
Yeah,
work
like is
on
that
this, and
cool
it's
or not? Yeah, and she helps a
no.
lot with that for sure.
Fantastic. So you
Yeah,
mentioned that there's a murder in the game.
yeah,
So what? So we've heard about the inspiration and some of the NPCs that are in, and Daniel as well. A little bit about
yeah,
him. So what's the character in the game like? Is that Daniel? Is that really like him, or are there any differences?
yeah. So the character in the game is designed and his name, and it's actually Daniel at Wildwood is like the design of the game. So Daniel is voice acting his self in the game. So we've recorded all Dan's voice, his lines and dialogue, and yeah, and it's like him in it. So it's Dan going through this story that it's like one of his friends disappears, and then they find his hand sticking out of the sand, and
Ooh.
so it's like he got killed or he got, so they have to like figure out what happened, and Daniel gets thrown into this like storyline basically and solving it, and his sister disappears, so he's trying to save his sister during the whole thing, and Dan really has a sister, and so that's like part of the fun thing. But yeah, it's just been fun making it and thinking of it. And I know Dan so well. It's like my brother. So writing the story and the parts and what he would say in different situations, it's like really his character, it's like a true character or something in the game. Like,
So we will be playing as Daniel. This is what he would say in
yes,
this situation and
yes,
do.
exactly.
So.
Yes, exactly. And even that played a part. Like while I'm working on the game in the summers, like the last couple, I'm sitting there on my computer and Daniel is behind me, like playing Mortal Kombat or something in the room. And I would be like, Dan, like if this, like there's a cop and he's saying this to you, like what would you say back to him? And like Daniel just feed me a line. And I actually would write it into the game. Like this is Dan's answer to that. And so kind of like working with him and writing his own lines and stuff too has been like fun, you know. And he's you just have to play the game and see him and to understand the full picture because he's just an awesome guy. But yeah, and then even we went to like record the lines and like as we're doing each line, I kind of like explained to him the scene and like what's happening and like the emotion or different sides to it. But he's like kind of a off the cuff, like he has a great like sense of humor and creativity that he would like change my line that I wrote. You know, it's like you're supposed to say this, and then he would like put his spin on it, you know, and
Ad
it's like
lib.
it's really funny. So then I had to go back in the game and change the text to what he did in the audio, you know. I was like, that's better than what I wrote. So there's a lot of like life in that that I think is like so fun and it came through in the game. I think people will like love it. It's cool.
Oh, fantastic. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
give him a line of text and he'd be like, oh, I think I can,
Yeah,
I'll ad lib
exactly.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So
Oh,
like I can
but
gas that up a
fantastic.
bit.
So the
Yeah.
game, it's a is it a comedy murder mystery thing or well, your sister is
Yeah. I'll land it
disappeared.
like it's a comedy murder mystery, but like in the speed of like Scooby Doo being a
Okay.
murder mystery, maybe. You know what I mean? That's it's like funny and silly and cartoonish, you know, in that sense. But there really is a murder, and it really, you know, and the bad guy's really bad.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm very
Yeah.
curious. And can you tell us? I know you mentioned, and I think I see a screenshot here of Pipe Boy,
Yeah. Nice.
just hanging up. Can you tell us anything about any of the other characters that we'll meet in the game?
Yeah. One, you know, one like there's quirky, crazy, like one of them's like a carnival guy. He's like running the game at like this basketball. You have to shoot the baskets in the thing. And he's like a funny character, but it's kind of like if Michael Jackson was a carny, is like the blend of characters. So, and that was like my line for finding a voice actor for that part as well. It was like Michael Jackson, if he's a carny and you're playing like come on down and like 5 shots and you get a prize, you know. But it's like the guy to do it like Michael Jackson doing it, and I had so many great auditions for that part. Like it's you know
Fantastic.
yeah, he plays a part in a couple parts throughout the game, but it's funny. A lot of the auditions are like singing the lines and doing like ow, you know, Michael Jackson's ows. So that's like one, you know, but other than that, there's the like Dan's sister is in there, and then it's like this group of friends out of the gate. That's like the sister's boyfriend. He's like a bully and he's a jerk, and then there's like kind of like a stoner guy that, and that's like the crew going through the whole story, kind of, you know, as it plays out.
Yeah, oh, fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the quirky characters
Yeah, that's you know, you got to have them
that
supporting
we'll
the
see in the
adventure. It's
game.
like yeah, it's
And
fun.
And so then you mentioned again one of the things that you learned was the puzzles and what I like to hear you say is that you to keep the story flowing as well because I think one of the issues that I have with puzzles is that there are obstacles and they can just stop you in your tracks. Then if you get stuck, and then
Yeah,
nowadays with so many games, I think a lot of people might just stop playing. Now there are
yeah,
other
yeah,
people who want difficult puzzles. So can you
absolutely.
give us any examples of any puzzles that would be in the game? I don't want, you don't need to spoil anything.
Yeah, I want people to play it and figure them out.
Okay, yeah.
But no, yeah.
Or what
Um, I,
type of
I,
puzzles? Are there
I will
inventory
say,
puzzles or?
I mean, one thing that comes to mind, it's not really answering your question, but I do like, you know, we're test playing the game and I kind of go back and forth on that. Like, there's a layer where I want the puzzles to be, I think that we did okay. We'll see when it comes out, but the puzzles kind of ramp up throughout the story that you end up like more challenging later on, which I think that's like a really
Mm,
important because you feel okay, I'm invested in the story, I care about the characters, what's going on, and now you can challenge the player a little more rather than like early
mm,
on and you're just getting stuck. So it's like, and also another layer to that is the payoff. Like if a puzzle is challenging, I always purposed to like there's something funny that happens because you solved it, or there's something in the story that progresses because you solved that like harder puzzle. So it feels like gratifying
hmm
that you like did it, rather than like, okay, that's cool, whatever, that puzzle was hard, and now I got to figure out the next puzzle, that's hard. So there are like, I did leave some that there's like that challenging layer, and I hope it lands a happy medium with people, but we'll see.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
I like that if you solve a puzzle, you get a reward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's
And
just constantly
mm,
conscious of that throughout designing it, building it out, and seeing people test play it, I think was super important too. Cause you get that like this guy, like this guy playing it's just like kind of running out of steam, and you feel like you're stretching people too thin. Um, so a lot of the puzzles, like I kind of design them really like crazy and they're hard, and then I break them down and break them down and break them down, and then it's like this is like the real puzzle that was at the heart of that whole thing. So it's kind of cool to do that, you know. Uh, yeah,
no, fantastic.
yeah,
Well, again, I think yeah, I think a lot of people might be happy because as I said, it's hard to keep everyone happy, but it seems like you have just, the right amount of
yeah, yeah.
challenge and then
That's what we're hoping.
reward,
Yeah, and
like
then the
continuous.
ramp up, yeah.
Mm,
For the people that are like, it's too easy, and it's like whatever, it's just a walkthrough, and I'm just playing it like I could have just been a movie. I don't want it to be that either, you know what I mean? So
of course, yeah.
there's that layer, like halfway through, you hit this point, it's like, okay, now you're playing like a real point and click adventure game. It's like kind of how I imagine it. It opens up a little more in that regard. Yeah,
No, well, again, we'll have to find out more when the
yeah,
game is out. And another thing that kind of struck me, and I know this is an audio form, but it's is the look of the game, which really stood out to me. It's is well, okay. How you described how the game looks? Is it? I'll let you.
yeah, sure. So it's we, just from sending out emails to people and saying this is our game, it's this and that and this and that, it's a 2.5D game, so it's in a 3D space. There's 3D objects like the buildings and the signs and the different things, vehicles, cars are 3D, but then like characters and maybe like a flag or different depending on what the object is actually pixel art. So the characters are all pixel art, and it's hand like drawn frame by frame animation pixel art. And it has like 3D lighting on those pixel arts. So it's like that cool, like middle ground, like kind of like a mixed media feel. And then the camera also can be 3D, which is really cool. Like throughout the whole story, it's always like like I was saying, the reward, you always have like this cutscene and the camera can fly in, fly out, be to the side, show this and don't show that. And it's been really cool, like playing out and making the story happen in that kind of cinematic regard. But we also love pixel art. It's kind of like in our heart that, the classic adventure games and just even games we grew up playing, we love pixel art and we love making it. So we wanted to keep that aspect of the retro feel and just the retro, like, yeah, the heart of it is like that
Mm,
retro, like Monkey Island pixel art characters, and it's like a talkie, but then in this 3D world. I think we like hit a really great medium. I'm happy with how it looks. I think it looks super cool. It's like even now seeing it, it's like the trailer and stuff. It's like, man, that is like really cool looking after working on it for so long. I'm happy with it. It has a
yeah.
camera blur too, which I think adds to the effect. Like what is in focus. There's like that bokeh. So it's like your pixel art character is like in front of the camera and everything else is blurry for this
Mm,
one shot when he says this one line to like punch that line. So you can kind of do a lot of cool like cinematic stuff with that. Like focus pulls, like the killer's in the background, but he's blurry. You see his eyes glowing. And then the camera pulls to like now he's in focus and Dan's blurry, like that kind of stuff. But it's like pixel art, so it kind of has this cool, like weird feel.
yeah, and I'm not really used to seeing that in pixel art.
Yeah, yeah,
Usually, and I love pixel art, but sometimes they're a bit static, so I'm not used to seeing like, these camera angles as you mentioned.
right, right.
And then it's you said, it is pixel art and 2.5D and it's really environment, but I don't know what it's would you describe it as not voxel? I don't know if that's
No, it's not
no,
voxel.
it's
Yeah, Yeah.
Mm,
It's just 2.5D. And
okay.
another layer to that is, I mean, just technicalities, but like we textured the 3D objects with like pixel art as well to help that blend. So, like, say it's like the coffee shop is a 3D building, but the texture that is on it is like a like pixel art texture. So there's like fading that is like pixels and it goes from dark to light up here, and the font is like pixel art. So it's actually like low res glued onto this 3D object. So the characters blend with the 3D objects like well because of that. You know, that's like another layer to making it glue together. So it doesn't
Okay.
feel like disconnected. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
It certainly looks very unique. And how did you to do all that? What engine or engines did you use? I'm sure other developers
Yeah, I mean
will
Unity
be
is what
interested.
we're using Unity to build it in, and then there's Adventure Game Creator is like a big plugin that most of the games running on, besides like our custom stuff. But that's like for building it all, and then we're using Blender for the 3D objects, and Sprite is the classic like pixel art. Everyone uses Sprite. Um, yeah, between those three, that's the core of it. Blender,
Okay.
Sprite, and Unity. You know.
Well, I have a feeling that other developers or other people who want to make games will probably, might want to get in touch to
Yeah.
ask how you did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's
Um,
it's fun. You know, it's a lot of experimenting. You just have like a little playground scene and you screw around till it looks
it's-
cool.
yeah, well, it
Yeah.
definitely does. At least from the trailers and the screenshot, it definitely looks very cool. So I'm looking forward to, to just seeing how it looks on my big screen when it comes
Yeah,
out.
yeah. When it plays out. That's what's like I love the trailer because I feel like pictures can't do the justice of the camera,
Mm.
like movement and the things and the feel of like it's great. I love it. I'm excited for people to play it.
Yeah, and I think what they liked about the trailer is it gives us an idea of the story without giving at least I don't think there are any spoilers.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't feel
yeah.
like, oh, well, I don't need to play the game now. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
but we kind of get an idea. Okay, so it's a comedy. Oh, there's a murder in there, murder mystery. I know there's kidnapping. I know there's, but then I was laughing as well. So I was like, okay, I think it's definitely intriguing me now. So the
Yeah.
trailer did its job.
Thanks. Thank you. For
And
sure.
now you mentioned that it's a talkie and that Daniel plays himself in the game, but are all the characters acted or there's other voice actors in this game as well?
Yeah. Yeah. So the whole game's voice acted and all that's done. Thank God. It's coming out in
So
August.
it's all recorded.
So yeah. Yeah. You know, the back and forth. And yeah, we kind of did auditions. And I think we had a lot of people audition for the game actually. So it was fun, like filtering through all of that. And that too, my wife, I would be like, is this like voice better or that? And you don't know who to go with, it's tough. But I'm super happy with who we picked and the people and like just they've been awesome to work with. They're like great people. They've been like supporting the game and into it. And even the people in the demo, we like kept them as voice actors. It was 2 years ago we made the demo, and they voice acted just the characters in the demo. And it's like now it's like, hey, remember that thing you did? That's coming out soon. You want to do the rest of the parts for that? So it's kind of fun there.
Very nice.
I could like, message them and yeah, I'm excited. A couple of them were amazing, like, that they're like, this is my first game I've ever been in. And it was cool to like work with them to like,
Mm.
back and forth and like, we'll try like this and do it like that. And you can kind of get to like what it needs to be. So yeah, yeah, it's cool. It's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure like it's great, it is great as well working with experienced people,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
also I think there's something with people who are doing something for the first time
Yeah.
that I think it's just that they're passionate, and then they can
Yeah,
say, "Well,
exactly.
this game was my first project." That you
Yeah. It's
could
kind of
help
cool.
launch their careers,
Right.
and if not,
Absolutely.
it's something that I think they will remember for the fact
Yep.
that it's their first game. Like you gave them the opportunity.
Yeah. It's super cool. It's fun.
So,
It's like one of the guys that he's like the bully in the game, and I actually love that's who I'm thinking of. There were a few that were like really experienced. They have tons of backlog, like
mm,
all these games and videos and comic books and things. Um, and so there are a lot of those, and they do a great job, and it comes through. It's like obviously they're
absolutely, I'm sure. Yeah.
experienced. But like there's one guy that did the bully. His name's Chris Haddad. He's from Australia and he played the bully and I didn't know it, but I chose him to do the thing. And he was like, he just had built an account where we were like auditioning, and he was like the first game he tried to audition for, and it was just like, hey man, like we picked you to do this part for our demo, and he's great, and I love what he did, and it's like his voice is just so like outlandish and like a cartoon. He's like one of my favorite characters in the game. He's really funny, and so I'm like stoked that we chose him, and then he still did the full thing in the whole game, and that was just kind of cool. I was like, dude, like this is the first thing you've ever done, and it's really like you're crushing it. So
Yeah, sometimes
that was
people
fun,
can,
the
yeah, that
excitement.
they can amaze us. Like if it's the first
Yeah,
thing that they're doing, and then I think as well, sometimes, we don't, whether it's, anything, we don't develop bad habits if for
yeah.
the first time. We're now kind of sure of its
Yeah,
own challenges.
yeah. You're not like familiar with stuff and kind of just going through the motions. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like when I'm driving, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to look at the mirrors and or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Those
But
freaking mirrors.
yeah, but for
Yeah.
but yeah, no. Well, from the trailer, it sounded fantastic, and then the music. So, how did you do the music for the game?
Okay, so me and my brothers all have a band. We grew up playing music. We played music. We kind of toured up and down the East Coast. Our band is called Tears of Mars. If anyone wants to check it out,
Okay,
that's just a side note, fun thing, cool. We're kind of heavy. It's like alternative rock, I guess. We've been like compared to Muse, if you know that band.
hmm
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so we have a lot of music background actually. That's like kind of like our funny thing. All five brothers, we all joined, made a band and played,
wow,
recorded, and
the
like did this whole, yeah.
like
So it's like
the
all five of
Jackson
us.
Five.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly it. So that's like really, it was really fun. We're not playing now like out live, but we still record and write and hang out and kind of just jam because we all love it still. So it's like it's a fun, a couple of us have kids and this different thing. So we're not like touring and trying to like approach it, but we'll always love it. I think it's just a cool thing. So yeah, anyway, the music. So like that goes with like recording in studios. We had our own studio for a while, different things like, all that mixed in. So my brothers all collectively have tons of equipment, like instruments and guitars and microphones and stuff. So we kind of made a makeshift studio and recorded all the music for Wildwood Down. And we kind of like, worked on it. And so we are trying to land it to make it feel right, going back and forth. And the idea was to make it like a surf rock noir was like our target. Yeah. And then blended with that was a little like, yeah, it was like a surf rock noir. And we want to have like harmonies in there for like that, like Beach Boys harmonies sometimes in the mix. That's like what was our kind of like target. And then it's like we need like action ones and hype things, and then like just mysterious ones, but all fitting in that bill. So I think I love, there's a band in the game called the Spore Lords. That's like the boyfriend's like band, and you have to go to his show and do all. So we had to write the Spore Lords songs, and that's like just this heavy
That was you
rock.
guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this dumb like like, and so that's fun. There's a couple Spore Lord songs in there. Yeah, yeah. The music I think is great. We need to make a app on Steam to like release the music still. It's
Yeah, or a
on my
soundtrack
list of
of the
things.
game.
Yeah, soundtracks. Yeah, exactly.
The very creative family, five of you, as well as making the game, making music, and
Yeah.
Daniel, the star of the show, and then your wife giving the idea and giving you ideas as well. So it seems like a very creative group of people.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we always have been. It's like we just love it. Just
Oh,
creating things.
fantastic!
Yeah. Yep. Since kids, it's just like how we're made, I guess.
Yeah, well, we can see this now. The game is coming out, and already, I believe you've won some awards already. Is that correct?
Yeah,
And the game
yeah.
hasn't even been
So
out yet.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, seriously, let's go. Yeah, should I go into like the thing with Daniel and then like land it there? I think I
Oh
will.
yes, sir. Yes, that's
Okay.
absolutely.
So yeah, so like I was gonna talk about, but like Dan's our main character in the game. We recorded all the lines, designed it. He's coming. So just like 3 months ago, Daniel was diagnosed with cancer. And it was just this crazy, like out of the
Mm.
blue, like, what are you talking about? And it was stage 3 lung cancer.
I'm very sorry to
So
hear.
yeah, it was like
It's
awful. And so he, rushed to the like emergency room, diagnosed. He's like, what can we do? Like all the hospital things of whatever you do with cancer. But yeah, so actually me and Luke, the two were the two making the game. We flew out. He lives in Washington State. So we flew out there because it's him and his mom. And yeah, it's like just to give his mom a break. She's in the
mm,
hospital like day after day and staying with him because he has to like someone has to be with him, like like just to make sure he's communicating with the doctors right and stuff and whatever. Um, so we flew out there and we're kind of taking turns just staying with him in the hospital for like a month or more. And yeah, that was just it's just been a crazy roller coaster with that. Like, just praying for Daniel and being with him, just like helping him laugh and just sitting there and
mm,
you know, just watching movies and whatever. But yeah, like one of the things that happened while we were there in the hospital was we got this email that our game was in Gamescom. It's like this big festival in Brazil. Um, Big Festival is the name of it. It's like a big, yeah.
because we
so
didn't know. So
uh
Gamescom, big
so
festival.
yeah, big festival, yeah. So we won this award in that for diversity, and we had entered our game. We weren't like thinking about or conscious of it, but we got this email like, "Hey, like, can you guys coming to the convention in Brazil? Like speak on stage and accept the award and stuff." So obviously we're sitting there, Dan's like, "We're not going to go and like do it all," but so I filmed a thank you speech with Daniel sitting there in the hospital, and it was just like, and telling Daniel that he won the award and
Mm,
stuff. It was just so amazing. We thanked them for it, and Dan thanked them for like the award, and it's cool. And then the day of the like they played the award on stage, and all the people like our video we sent in thanking everyone. They played our video, we got to watch that with Daniel. Like, it's like, look, Dan, here's the thing we won, and it's like we're watching. It's just, and it's like that plays the video, me and Dan in the hospital hanging out, and it's like goes to the crowd, and it's just this huge crowd of people watching it. And it was like amazing. And Daniel just seeing that it was like a real thing and that he really won this award. It was like we were all just weeping, really. We were just it was just such a blessing and like to our hearts and encouragement, and Daniel and all the layers to it was just crazy. It was like surreal. I was like I don't know, it's just like a crazy thing. And then with that, I wanted to mention all of the people doing voice acting and the fans, like our Discord. Like we kind of like told people Dan got cancer, pray for him, whatever. Like this is happening, it's crazy. They all sent us like presents in the mail to Daniel, and like voice messages and text messages and videos. And like all the voice actors were just incredible. They were sending these videos of themselves like kind of playing their characters in the game, like Officer Huck, and he's like doing his voice like, "Hey Dan, this is Officer Huck," and all this like amazing. And so they're like, just like get well and stay strong, and we're thinking about you and all this stuff. And so every day I was just like watching these videos with Daniel. I'm just like bawling my eyes out. It's like just like, Dan, look at this. Like Officer Huck sent a voicemail. He's just sitting there watching. He's like, "Oh, thank you, Officer Huck." And so it's just like an incredible like time for just our hearts and like this, and it made the game like, wow, like we made this game about Dan's life. Like he might not make it through the week. It
mm,
was how it was. It was crazy. So I actually like played the game with Daniel while I was out there because we didn't know if he was like gonna like make it. Um, so it was like with my laptop in the hospital, we're just sitting there watching the parts, and he's laughing, and like he's like a ham where like if a camera turns on, he comes to life. He starts like acting up, and he's silly. So it's like he's just this character that he's like he loves seeing himself, and it's like this funny. So then playing the game with him, he just loves all the parts and his lines. He's like laughing at his own lines, and some of the parts were funny, like something would happen in the game, and then like what I wrote or what he says in the game, he actually said it in real life. Like watching the game, he would like say it, and then the character in the game said it. I was like, that's so funny. But yeah, it was just an intense time, and so like just to land like further now, Dan, he's gone through chemo. He went through his third round of chemo just recently, and through like these crazy battle. At one point it was a critical emergency, like 10 people running around the hospital room. He has like a breathing tube down his neck, and it's just like he's gone. You know what I mean? I thought he was like, it's like
Mm,
he's done. Like it's just, it's like, I don't know if he's pulling through this one. And now like the doctors are saying like there's 80% chance that he's going to live a full life and have full health, which is insane. So like it's just crazy. And he's like, he's home, he's doing chemo, going home. So he's comfortable, he's hanging out, and you can, like, I call him and talk to him like every day. Um, so yeah, that's just another layer to the game. That's like a huge,
yeah.
like on our heart, it brings a lot of weight, and like, yeah, just a crazy thing.
Yeah, well, first of all, my very best to Daniel. I mean, it sounds awful what he and all of you were going
Yeah,
through and are going through.
right.
But I'm getting goosebumps. I haven't even seen the video of you guys being played in the
Mm.
Gamescom.
Yeah.
But just hearing you say it, I'm like, oh wow, I can just imagine how much it must have felt for you guys and for Daniel to see,
Yeah.
to win that. It was a big impact diversity. So you're clearly. And I must stress, the game hasn't even been released yet, and we're
Right.
already winning.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I
It's
think that
awesome.
just, it must show as well. And first of all, hopefully, that, hopefully had an impact on him and you guys and him to
Yeah.
keep fighting on in
Yeah.
life, and, that
Exactly.
it's having an effect. And I was speaking to another developer at Adventure X, and he made a very popular game. It's won awards as well. But he told me, said it's about the little victories. He said that when people write to him and say, your game helped me through a tough time. It
Mm.
made me laugh.
Yeah.
I was going through, I don't know, tough time at work or breakup, and your game helped me through it. He says
Wow.
that really means a lot to him. So now with
Yeah.
this,
So cool.
and again, from what you're saying and from what I've seen of the game, I'm pretty confident that when the game comes out, that there will be people who the
Yeah.
game will help. They will enjoy, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it will help them through tough times.
It's awesome.
So
So
yeah, no,
awesome.
I mean it's great to hear he's doing better.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it sounds like a really, he's certainly more than anybody and you guys as well. But it shows how close you all are that you flew over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like without
Yeah.
a second thought.
Yeah. It was just like, we're going, it's like, I don't know. Yeah. It's
But
crazy.
but I think what I can see now as well is, well, first of all, you spoke about the impact that he had on you guys growing up, that he's one of you, one of the family.
Yeah.
But now you're saying that, fans and people on Discord and the voice actors, they send videos and presents, and I think we can see the impact he's having on everybody.
Yeah.
That
It's amazing. I
he
know.
seems like
It's
one of these
awesome.
people that kind of like a sponge that just people
Yeah. Seriously. Yeah.
like
It
people
is like
which
that. Anywhere you go, it's like, damn, he's just the man.
that down a man. Well, that
He's,
is. Well, again, I'm sorry again that you guys are all going through that, but I'm happy to hear that he's doing better.
yep.
And my very, very best. I hope he's listening. I'm very, very best to you, Daniel, if you are listening, because we want to play as you, want to play the game, and we hope you're doing well as well.
Super
So
cool. Yeah.
yeah,
So
no,
next year we're hoping he can come for, so like he wasn't able to come this summer
mm,
because of all this. So like next year it's like, okay, Dan's like bouncing back. It's like amazing. And so next year, like I want him to come for summer and want to go to Wildwood with him and do a whole trip and thing.
absolutely.
But I want to have a big party. I've been telling all my friends and stuff, we're going to have a banner that says Dan's not dead 2026. And that's going to, so when he arrives, it's like this big banner at my house pulling up. It's going to be great.
Oh, well, and then people, I don't know, people can dress as the characters, or maybe the
Yeah.
voice actors can come dressed as the
Seriously.
characters and play out in real life. So
Seriously.
that would be amazing. Well, look, I'm delighted to hear that. So the game will be out on August 7th, 2025. It
Yep.
will be available on Steam.
Yep.
Yeah. Do
I'm
you have any
excited.
plans? I don't know if you, I know people always ask this about every game. Do you have any plans to port the game? I don't know if that's
Yes,
possible at this stage
yeah,
or.
that's like up to the powers that be at this point. As of yesterday or 2 days ago, I sent in our applications for Xbox and Switch.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
they get back to you like how that whole process. So it's underway, but they
You're
can
doing everything
decline.
you can at least.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. But I imagine they will, because the game's awesome. And the
They
but
should.
by the end of the year, I'm hoping that we can have it on like Xbox and Switch would be really cool. That's what I'm hoping.
Good.
But
And maybe
see
Switch
for
2,
now,
now that
yeah.
there's a mouse support for Switch 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mentioned that in my application. I was like, come
Yeah,
on.
perfect. It would be perfect
Right.
for a Switch 2.
Right.
And what do you know how long more or less it might take people? And I know this is always a tricky question because it takes people different
Yes,
times,
absolutely.
but a
Yeah. I hope
ballpark
that people
figure.
are stoked. It's like the test players have landed like around 10 hours. So it's a pretty
Wow.
big full game. It's like a real game. Yeah. So there's a lot to it, a lot of scenes, a lot of parts, stuff. And yeah. So I'd say 8 to 10 hours, but test players have landed at 10 hours so far.
Wow,
Yeah.
fantastic.
So it's cool.
And people seem to be enjoying it. So, no, it really is fantastic. And I do sincerely mean, I do think this is going to have an impact when it comes out.
Yeah.
It is going to help people as well. And I think, Daniel himself can be an inspiration to people to
Yeah,
show, like, look, you
absolutely.
can be the star of the game and, everything he's going through
Hmm.
and still,
So
make
cool.
people laugh and make people forget about our problems in life
Right. Yeah,
and
absolutely. He's
go on his
inspiring me.
adventures.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
So where can I will include links in the show notes. So where can people find out more about the game and about your
Yeah,
studio?
I think so. The best thing people can, if you're interested in the game, like, wish listed on Steam is always the thing, so that when it comes out, you get a reminder, basically. But outside of wish listing it on Steam, the Discord is great. It's fun. Come hang with us and we chat about it, and you can see the whole, like, me, like, here Daniel is had just got cancer, this is what happened, and go through the whole thing and see it all unravel, and like the parts and posts and things and stuff, and you'll be a sobbing ball of mess
Oh
by
yeah, I
the end
was.
of it all. So yeah, so but it's fun. We have a good time on there, the different people, and everyone's excited for the game to come out. So I would say the Discord is cool. I don't know how you find Discords, but maybe you could post a link of it or
Yeah,
something.
I'll put a link
Yeah.
in the show notes so you can find out the website and there's yeah, and I believe you have an email list as well.
Yeah, there's an email list. Yep, you can sign up for that, which is cool. That would be great. You know, email list, wish list, Discord channel. That's where we hang out. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Right.
Well, look, I'm looking forward to it, especially after hearing you. I was really looking forward to chatting to you about all of this, because I do see that this game is unique and it seems to be you've done it seems like you've done everything and already it's having an impact. So is there anything else that you would like to mention before we go that I maybe
Um,
haven't? No, you
no,
don't
I
have to,
think we
but
covered it, man. You're
yeah.
crushing it. Yeah. I just want to thank you for, like, letting me be on this and letting me talk to you about it. And it's an honor, it's just to chat with you, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no
It's
worries.
really
Thank you
awesome.
for coming on because I think it's a great story,
Yeah.
about how it all, you're making the game and then, even persevering
Hmm.
through. And I think Daniel's story does deserve to be told as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
And yours making the game as well. I think
Thanks, man.
it's
Yeah.
great. Well, yes, the 7th of August, 2025. And if you're listening to this after the 7th of August, it will be available. But if you're listening to this before, make sure to wish list. And again, it really, really helps indie developers like
Yeah.
Micah Studio, Crashable Studios. That it does, especially towards the beginning of the game's release, just to get the games on the trending. It can make
Yep.
all the difference. And
Exactly.
I
It
really hope
does.
that this
Yeah.
game does well.
Yep.
So, well, look, thank you so much to you, Micah. And again, the very, very best to you and all your family, and of course, Daniel. And I'm sure he can't wait for the game to be out and to
Yeah.
see what
Yep.
everybody thinks. And you should be proud, I think.
Yeah. It's super
So
cool.
not long to go.
I
So
am proud. Yeah. Dan's got it on his calendar. He's Xing off up to August 7th. Every day he crosses it off and is waiting for it.
well, we're nearly there. We're so
Yeah.
close.
It's
Well, look,
great.
the very best to all of you guys, Micah, and thanks so much for joining the podcast. I had a great, great time.
Hey, thanks, man. Same.